Hey guys, Marsningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are doing part 2 of the breakdown of the upcoming awakenings that drop tomorrow when the Ultra Instinct Goku banner and Tournament of Power story event go live. We did the Goku ones in part 1, which you can check out. I'll put the link to that in the description. That will be all the God Gokus that awaken with Ultra Instinct medals. And for part 2, we are going to be looking at the Universe 6 Saiyans. They all awaken with medals from the Tournament of Power story event that drops at the same time as UI Goku's event and the banner. So first of all, we have the Dokkan awakening for Caulifla, who, has been in the game for a while. Very solid unit. I'm sure you all have a good idea of what she does. So let's cover her now. So her leader skill gets a nice little boost. She goes from being 50% to all stats to 70%. Still only 2 key, but that does make her one of the best non-LR rainbow leaders in the game. Obviously, Mars Saiyan gives 50% and 3 key, so you get extra key with him, but extra stats with Caulifla. So as long as you're putting together a team with good key links, that's not going to matter too much. So it's a very solid leader skill. Her super attack still causes supreme damage, however now she gives herself a 30% defense boost for 3 turns. So this is actually very useful, because if you are super attacking with her before she takes some attacks and she then fails to dodge any of those attacks, she's now at least boosting her defense a little bit, which means she'll take a little bit less damage. Because as you've probably seen from my videos, other people's videos, or just your own personal experience, in Super Battle Road, even Rainbow, if she doesn't dodge attacks, she still takes a fair bit of damage. So now she will give herself a nice little defensive boost, which is good. Her passive skill, she gives herself attack plus 90%. I'm not sure, is that an increase? Let's have a look. Yes, that's an increase from 70%. She still has a high chance of evading. And her pre-Dokkan form, she has a medium chance to evade and counter super attacks with enormous power, which is 200%. Once she Dokkan awakens, it's still a medium chance, but she counter attacks with tremendous power, which is 250%. So she's going to counter attack harder. She doesn't have a higher chance to dodge or to counter supers, but when she does get that counter off, she's going to hit even harder, which add that to the fact that she's getting an extra 20% from her passive anyway, so her counter attacks are going to hit a lot harder. Her links are obviously all the same as before, but she picks up Shattering the Limit, which is another key link, which is another good thing for depending on how you're going to build your team. It makes up for this lack of key in her leader skill if you are using her as a leader. She's still in the same categories. Obviously Pure Saiyans has been added, which, as we mentioned in part 1, we don't have on global yet. But she's very solid. Her 12 key multiplier is 145%, which is a 5% increase. So overall, basically just decent improvements to an already very solid unit. I have her Rainbow, so once she's awakened, she's going to be even better. So very, very good awakening for her. I guess it's a little bit disappointing that she gets Shattering the Limit and not Fierce Battle, but it is what it is. So then we go on to her partner in crime, as it were, the Berserker Kale. Came out at the same time. She has a physical types key plus 2, HP attack and defense 90%. So just like Caulifla, she gains 20% of the stats, but keeps the same key. Which is actually quite an interesting boost to her leader skill, because it now means, again, if you can build your team well enough that key links make up for the leader skill, she now has a better overall physical leader skill than the physical legendary Super Saiyan Broly. She causes immense damage with her super attack and lowers defense. She gives herself attack plus 120% and still keeps the additional attack, which has a great chance to become a super attack. And she keeps all the same links, but picks up Shattering the Limit as well. Obviously, she is a great partner for Caulifla or for Kefla, who we will be looking at next. So basically, just like the Caulifla, she is essentially just a good, solid awakening for an already decent unit. And both those units have been in the game for a while and are in the general SSR pool. So depending on how much you summon, you are likely to have picked up at least one copy of these guys. And of course, once the banner drops tomorrow, Caulifla and Kale are featured units as long as there's no changes from JP. I can't imagine there will be. So again, very solid units. Kale is obviously not in the Peppy Gals category, but they are great units for a Universe Survival Saga team, and they work very well together. Now, speaking of them working well together, the next one is the Awakening for Kefla. Now, one key thing to notice is that in her original form, she is Super Saiyan Kefla, and once she awakens, she becomes Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. So on the off chance that you pull so many copies of her that you've rainbowed her and have copies to spare, you can actually run her awakened form and unawakened form on the same team together. They would share every single link except Shattering the Limit. The only downside to that would be because of the way their passive works, and using physical spheres to nuke. Only the first one you attack with is going to pick up all those physical orbs, and then the second one is probably not going to have many. So probably not an optimal way to run her, but just to be aware that that is a possibility. So once she awakens, she becomes the full Potara category leader. She goes up from being key plus 2 and 120% to 3 key and 150%, which puts her on par with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Omega Shenron, and of course Ultra Instinct Goku. She causes immense damage and greatly lowers defense. Her passive works exactly the same way as before. Gets the additional. She basically combines Caulifla and Kale, which she did anyway. So she has the chance to dodge, and she also has the chance to launch an additional super attack, which of course, depending on how many orbs you pick up, she can actually put out some pretty crazy damage. And of course, the Potara team overall is just going to become a very solid team once her awakening is available. So not else really a huge amount to say about her. She again is in the Peppy Gals category team, so that team is just getting stronger and stronger. The free-to-play Ribrienne is, I think, still the best leader for that team, although the Awakening for Caulifla puts her leader skill almost on par, depending on whether you missed that Ribrienne event or not. You can always just use Caulifla as the leader, and then so many units on that team have the Shattering the Limit link, so no one's going to really be struggling for key. So yet again, just like the first, it's kind of a running theme. She's just a very solid Awakening for an already good unit. She is a featured unit on the banner, and of course the banner is GSSR, although not featured GSSR, but possible if you are doing summons on there that you're going to pick up some extra copies of her. I only did a few summons on the first banner that she dropped on, which was obviously, it actually was featured GSSR, so I only got one copy of her and then I just stopped. So definitely wouldn't mind pulling a dupe or two of her from this banner. Ultra Instinct Goku is my main goal because I didn't get him at Christmas, but if I can get a dupe for her, that would be pretty awesome. And then the last one is the Awakening for the free-to-play Cabba, who is available through the Universe 6 story event, which is actually on at the moment. He is a unit that gets a very interesting passive once he awakens. So his leader skill is Tech, Key plus 2, HP and Attack and Defense 30%. So it's not the worst, but obviously, even if you are completely free to play, the Krillin from the barbershop is still going to be your go-to leader. So it causes supreme damage with his super attack, and his passive attack 80% when performing a super attack, so he can hit reasonably hard. But the cool thing is, he now has chance to perform a critical hit plus 7%, up to 49% per Universal Survival Saga category ally on the team. So that means if you have a full Universal Survival Saga team, he's going to have a 49% chance to crit, which is calculated separately from his hidden potential. So if you gave him crits in the hidden potential system, he's going to get this 49% chance to crit, and then if that doesn't trigger, he'll then get whatever percentage chance based on what skill level you gave him. So if you gave him a decent level of crit already, he is going to be critting more often than not, which is really cool. He keeps all the same links and picks up Shattering the Limit, just like the girls before him, and he's in Universal Survival Saga and Pure Saiyans. So really, most of these units, aside from Kefla being the Potara leader, most of these units find their best home on the Universal Survival Saga team, especially considering his passive. If you use him on a super tech team, his passive is essentially going to be wasted unless you bring a couple of the units like the new 18 that comes out on this banner, as well as the old Ranger 17. The free-to-play Jiren we don't have yet, so yeah, it's really only the 17, 18, and then the free-to-play Urine from the event. So on a Super Tech team, he's not going to be as good, but on the Universal Survival Saga team, he's going to be getting crits pretty regularly. So he is definitely a great unit to fill a space on that team if you don't have the full pay-to-play options for that team. So pretty much the theme of all of these guys is essentially just a solid rebirth for a unit who was already pretty decent. Super Tech is one of the best free-to-play teams, so there was competition for him on that team. But I feel like with this Awakening, even if you're not running Universe Survival Saga units on your team, he is still a very solid choice for that team now, especially because he picks up Shattering the Limit, which he'll share with units like the Tank Bulma. So he's definitely very good. I'm sure Jay Phantom will be excited because his is Rainbow, so once he is awakened he will be pretty powerful. So all in all, very good Awakenings for very good units. In fact, actually I think he is the same as Kefla, where he becomes Super Saiyan 2 from Super Saiyan 1. So if you are completely free to play and are running a free to play tech team, you could actually run a rotation of the unawakened version with the awakened version. Obviously that would mean if you wanted to do that as optimally as possible, you've got a lot of farming to do to open up all those paths on both units. But that would actually be quite an interesting rotation. So unfortunately it's not something that I'm going to be trying. I farmed him up from his original event. I don't think I even bothered to farm up to open his paths, because as decent a free to play unit as he is, I'm obviously not free to play, so I don't even use him on my free to play tech team, to be fair, because there are, like I say, other units that are slightly better. But I'm definitely looking forward to doing a little showcase for him to see how good he is. I guess if I pull Jiren, the best way to do that will be on the Universe Survival Saga team, so I guess we will have to wait and see. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Just wanted to finish up what we started from the first video, covering these new Awakenings that are arriving. I know there's a lot of hype for the Ultra Instinct Goku Awakening and Jiren, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of all these other Awakenings as well. Let me know in the comments which one is your favourite, which one you have, or which one you'll be going for. Are there any of these units other than the UI Goku or Jiren that you're hoping to pull from the banner? Just let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So just wanted to cover all of this, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.